Imagine this. You're at the start of the Tour de France bicycle race. You think of all your years of training and how much it means to you to finish this race. You hear the gunshot and you take off. You're not even 10 miles in when you hit the base of a huge climb. You're almost at the top when you start to get tired. You think about turning around and heading back, but you decide that you can make it through. Finally, you reach the top, and now you get to descend back down the other side of the mountain. You're riding fast, nearly 60 miles an hour, and gravity's doing all the work, so you start to relax. All of a sudden, you realize that you just missed your turn because you weren't paying attention, but luckily you're able to get back on track quickly. Right then, off in the distance, you see the finish line. You break into a mad sprint, riding harder than you've ever had in your life. You break the tape with such force that the posts on either side of you come crashing down. The crowd goes ballistic. You have just won the Tour de France. You finish, and you finish strong. Today I want to talk to you about finishing strong. I want to talk about how we can maintain a strong and healthy relationship with God, so that when we die and finish this race we call life, we burst into heaven, having run our race and finished strong. Hebrews 12:1 tells us to run with endurance the race that God has set before us. In other words, the race is our spiritual walk, and to finish strong, you have to race strong, just like in our story. So today, I want to prepare you to race strong so that you can finish strong. First off, any good athlete needs coaching. Think of a competitor in the Olympics. They put in a lot of time and effort to be the best that they can be. They train. In the same way that athletes train, we need to train to be the best Christians that we can be. Now, how do we train? Our spiritual training is taking the time to pray, read our Bibles, and spend time in God's presence. That's how we work out our spiritual muscles. Philippians 4:9 tells us to keep putting into practice all that we have learned and received from Him. That's how we work on our spiritual muscles so that we're prepared to run strong and finish strong. Next, in almost all races, there will be climbing. There will be times in your life that you'll face trials and struggles. And just like climbing hills on a bike, you will get tired. There will be times when you want to turn around and ride back down the hill, just like in our story. The thing is, if you are looking to finish this race, giving up is never an option. Philippians 3:14 says, I press on to reach the finish and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling me. You see, we are called to finish, and no matter what, we need to keep pushing through until we reach this finish line. One of the best parts about climbing a hill, though, is that once you get to the top, you get to cruise on down to the bottom. And with the breeze in your face and the climb behind you, life is going to start to feel pretty good. The thing is, when we're cruising, we sometimes have a tendency to loosen the reins and lay back a little bit because we start feeling too comfortable. Before we know it, we're headed in the wrong direction altogether. And like in the story earlier, we've had to miss a turn or something. So it's important that instead of loosening the reins when life feels good, we maintain focus and direction so that we remember to keep running and that we'll finish strong. Finally, in your race, caution is very important. Like in the story, it was important to pay attention to the signs. Just like the street signs that you'll see on the road, God will give us many of the same signs, telling us many of the same things like slow down, detour, road closed, or dead end. For example, picture a blind man in a race. He probably wouldn't do too well because he can't see the signs telling him what to do and where to go. Like that blind man, we too are often spiritually blind. We don't see the signs that God is giving us in our lives. So it's important that we're not spiritually blind and we're cautious and aware of these signs that God is giving us in our lives. So remember, coaching, we need to exercise our spiritual muscles so that they'll grow. Climbing, we need to keep pushing through our struggles so that we will reach the finish. Cruising, we need to maintain focus and direction when life makes it easy. And caution, we need to remember to pay attention to the signs that God is giving us in our lives. But finally, and most importantly, unlike any other type of race that you will ever run, in this one, you're not alone. If you put your trust in God, He will help you to run a strong race so that you can finish. So today I challenge you. Every day, if you run a strong race with coaching and caution so that you are prepared to face the climbs and the cruises, you will finish, and you will finish strong.